Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Lavinia Stamps design team, and I've got Bobby the Robin to show you today from our new Starlight collection. So I'm using the watercolour card, trimmed to 10.5 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres, but you don't have to use card. If you want to use watercolour paper, that's fine, because it's mounted to card. So there we go. Now I'm using one of my favourite colours, which is an Uncharted Mariner. This is fairly new, which means it's quite a juicy ink pad. So I've got my other ink pad there, which is what I'm going to use to make my rounded circle. So got an inked box, so we're just going to see if that's in the middle. So press it down nice and firmly, get as much as that ink off as we can, and then I'm grabbing a paintbrush, and I've got some clean water. Now what I have to remember is later to clean that lid, otherwise you get ink everywhere. So I've got a fair amount of water, and because it's watercolour card, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. So I've given it some water to flow into, and then picking it up from around the edges. Now I'm loading my brush with I'm not tapping it off. I've got a fair amount of water on there because you've got to give the ink somewhere to go. Doesn't really matter what you do with the middle because it's sky. So there we go. There's my background. I'm going to give it a bit of blast with the heat gun. Perfect. Right, so there's my background. Let's get my card back, and I just need to mask it off here and here because my stamp is much longer. Right, so I'm going to mask off the base of this, and then it's the same stamp to get these branches at the top. Just use a bit of paper that I've got to hand. I have one bit there, and I really like the edge of this. I liked this little branch coming down, but I didn't want the other bit. I didn't want this bit because I've got a line there. So I'm inking this stamp up with this fine pine cone. Any of the dark browns would obviously work. Right, so let's give our robin a nice branch to sit on. And if you wanted to, you could just mask off one end. If you wanted to just mask off this end and have all the branches coming out here, that's another way you could do it. So there we go, there's that bottom one. And then the top one is just some of these branches here. So while we're at it, let's just cover up that corner. Ink pad. I've got my camera quite close on this video. At least you're getting in close up to see what I'm up to. So let's pop some branches up there. Well, more twigs really, aren't they, at this point? Branch down there, a few twigs of an overhang up at the top. There we go, that's our there are our branches. I'm going to take off those bits I've masked off so that I can add our robin. So here he is, and I tried a couple of ways to do him, and decided what I actually really liked was the Versafine for the main bit of his body, and then my Kuretake. Sorry, just seeing I've left the lid off my ink pad. A red Kuretake. This one is number 22, Carmine Red. But any of your reds, it doesn't matter if you've chosen a red that you like. or it's in the set that you've got, use that red. So using the pen gave me this lovely fluffy red breast, which I just particularly liked. So there we go. Oh, so let's pop him on here. And it's I mean, I don't know if you've ever spilt red ink or red anything really. It stains, doesn't it? Red pigments tend to stain. But as my friend Kate Crane says, these there are craft tools and there's nothing wrong with them looking like we've used them. So there we go. I'm looking, I can see the corner of this ink pad, so I was looking down to avoid his beak, because I'm going to colour that in yellow. So I'm just going to take off some of this brown so I can colour it red. Oh, there we go. The yellow one, number 50, do his beak, and let's pop him down. Now, giving that a breathed on it, so that warm air just makes sure that the ink from the pen is ready to be transferred. Ooh. So there's Bobby, and so next we mainly really is a bit of colouring in, and then adding some notes. Now, because we're using the watercolour paper, we can use a few different ways of adding colour if we want to. So I could use my brown Zig pen, or I can use the pencil crayons and add some water to those. I do like using pencil crayon because I can control the light and dark just in a different way really to using your pen. So, but you choose whatever you're happy with or whatever you've got. If you've not got the pencils, then don't worry about it. Get your pens out, or pop one of your element ink pads down and pick some more colour up on a wet paintbrush. That's another way. So there's lots of ways often to get inspiration from a YouTube video that you've seen, even if you've not quite got all the supplies that the demonstrator uses. So there's our coloured in the branch. I'm going to get my paintbrush out, because what happens with the when you add water, it seems to intensify the colour. This number 1 brush is lovely, as it holds a lot of water for when you need it to. Now I'm using loads less water than when I did the ink box bit. For this bit, I've just got a probably a bit more than damp brush. You can wipe it off on your hand or on the edge of your water jar. I'll show you what I mean. I'll dab that off. You can just wipe it on your hand like that, just so it's a damp brush. It will probably slightly wetter than damp. So there we go. See if we can get any of that red to just move a bit nearer. Yes, we can. Look at that. There we go. Bobby's looking Very smart. Now let's see what we can pick up from this yellow, because I did add my pencil on the sample one, but you can, it has done quite well there. There we go, and a bit on his eye. That's a bit of focus. Okay, I'm going to do some stamping now. So I've got the musical notes. This is the small one. You could use the large one if you've got it. I don't. But what I thought was nice about these is you could have two of the robins on here, or one of them actually sitting on the, is it the stave? This musical bit where the notes normally sit. It's got a posh name. I just don't know what it is. Well, I probably do, but I couldn't remember it. So I've got a few notes here. I'm going to be using Warm Breeze, which works really well with Uncharted Mariner. They're kind of on that teal turquoise part of the blue scale. So we can use it as a whole stamp, but also add a couple of single ones. Now I've got a smudge of line there, but I'm not going to worry about it, because by the time I've added some gold splatters and other bits, you're just not going to notice. Right, let's wipe that clean, and then I'm just going to ink up that last. In fact, I'm going to stamp it just to make sure it properly is clean. Not quite. Very nearly. Yes. Right, now it is. I'm just going to ink up that last note, because I'm going to put it down here. And ink it up again. And have it up here, because he's singing his heart out and the music is coming off the page. Now, I did have the With Love stamp out. One of those days today, things keep disappearing. So I've got a With Love written on there. Have a quick look. Vanished. Right, for now I'm going to carry on, see if I spot it. So I'm using one of the glittery Poscas. I love these. They just suit what we're doing, don't they? All fairy like. So this is the green. Looking a bit. Sorry, I'm off the page there, just doing a bit of making sure I've not got loads of big lumps of pen ink, and I'm just going to go over these. I just love these oval leaves, blobby leaves. They're very pleasing. I suppose they're a bit on the circle spectrum, aren't they? Squidged circle, and I love circles. So there we go. It's a lovely, quick and easy way of adding coloured leaves. What did we do before we had Posca pens, eh? There we go. That tiny, and this is what I liked, this tiny little branch kind of hopping off. And then, I mean, it's minute on this one. There's a tiny little bit there, but if you want to cover that up, you could add a homemade leaf. I did a couple on here, you probably never noticed. So there we go. Then let's add a bit of gold sparkle. So used my favourite drop of shimmer in a jar because it's my favourite, and I'm not very good, as you'll know if you've seen me do videos before or any demos. I am not very good at splattering a gold Posca pen. So I have a wet paintbrush, my pot of gold ink, which I dip my paintbrush in, and we just add some gold splatters. So even with the paintbrush today, I'm getting lines. And to turn it that way. Oh, I've knocked you dizzy again. Sorry, guys. And I'm just going to show you how adding that gold where the lettering would have been means don't actually need a greeting if you don't want one. It can just be a plain card. So one with a greeting, one without. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please let me know if you have a go yourself, and I'll see you soon.